The Sandlot. There's so many great scenes. It's like, for me, it's hard to even pick one because each scene brings me so much joy in a different way. But yeah, The Sandlot holds a very special place on my heart.
Forever. Forever. Forever.
Welcome to List. This is a show where we pluck out a name out of the Geeks, and Joysticks podcast YouTube channel. Watch list, watch it and view it for your viewing pleasure. I'm host Edward Praz, and the movie we are scratching off the list today, my personal favorite movie of all times, 1993's The Sandlot. In the summer of 1962, a new kid in town is taken under the wing of a young baseball prodigy and his rowdy team, resulting in many adventures. This is a movie that I saw tons and tons and tons and tons of times as an itty bitty little cheerin'. This came out a couple years after I was born, and I don't even remember ever seeing it in the theater because I was probably 2 years old when it came out, so I don't think I actually saw it in the theater. And while doing research, it was funny for me to find out that this movie, while it wasn't a flop in the theater, its success came mostly with the VHS sales and then later on the DVD sales. I think it made more money that way than it did actually in the theater. It wasn't a flop by any means. I think it quadrupled its money at the box office, and then it made a ton more with VHS and DVDs. There aren't many movies where I know every line, and this is definitely one of them. But I don't know if I can take credit as much as I want to credit the movie because of how iconic and easy and memorable the lines are to remember. I mean, you got,
Come on, Benny, man. The kid is a L7 weenie.
you got forever.
Forever. Forever. Forever.
You got the great Bambino. You got,
You play ball like a girl! You're killing me, Smalls! You're killing me, Smalls.
I mean, the lines are just amazing, great, fantastic. Again, this is my childhood movie, so I could be 100% biased. Feel free to yell at me down in the comments whether or not you agree or disagree with anything that I'm about to drop. So once you get old and crusty and you're not, searching for balls underneath cars or jumping over fence, you come to appreciate the little stuff that this movie provides. But yeah, The Sandlot holds a very special place on my heart. What I came to appreciate now on this recent watch is actually how timeless the movie is. I think I actually never sat down and asked myself when this movie came out. So I was a little shocked when I figured out years ago that it came out roughly around when I was born, because the movie definitely feels timeless in the sense that it's a tale being told in the 60s. So everything that is shown to depict the 60s is very 60s, from the architecture, from the fashion, from the music. The depiction of the 60s era is absolutely perfect. I feel like in the beginning of the movie and towards the end where they jump to now, allegedly, which is the 90s, that feels older and more outdated than the depiction of the 60s. I don't know if this makes any sense at all to anybody else. Another thing that I didn't really appreciate back then was the use of the movie score. This is a very, very, very good sneaky movie score. It's never in the way, and it enhances every scene. Like, for example, when Smalls is playing catch with his stepfather early on, the way the music conveys what the stepdad is feeling, like, bro, really? You can't catch the ball? What the hell is wrong with you? Then after that, the music starts to build up and it ends with the ball hitting Smalls in the eye. That's just one little thing that definitely helps enhance not only that scene, but the entire movie, because that is done throughout the whole movie. But it's not only the score, it's also the songs that they chose for the scenes that they chose them for, like Wipeout for the chase, or Ray Charles when it's 4th of July and they're looking at the fireworks, Tequila for the barf scene. It's all really, really fantastic. And this is something that I just barely grew to appreciate now. There's so many great scenes. It's like, for me, it's hard to even pick one because each scene brings me so much joy in a different way. Again, please let me know what's your favorite Sandlot scene. A lot of people's favorite scene is the kissing scene, of course, between Squints and Wendy Peppercorn.
Oh God, he looks like a dead fish. What?
This magic moment.
Little pervert!
The actor who plays Squints was told to keep his tongue in his mouth, and this kid was so ready to have his makeout scene that each day he was asking the director when they were going to film that scene, and the director kept telling him it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. So he didn't give him a date to when it's happening until it actually happened. He was so excited to film that little scene. I think you can almost see his face and how giddy he is when they pull him out the water and he's like shaking all weird. You can see that he's totally ready with what he's about to do. In the movie, they end up going to the pool because it's super, super hot out. And it was actually super, super hot as well on set. And they were battling with heat up to 105. Oddly enough, though, when it was time to film the kissing scene and the pool scene, that was not a very hot day. It was actually overcast. You can even see Squints and a lot of the kids' teeth chattering while they're in the pool. Another fantastic scene that I love is when Ham is roasting the preppy kids. When he does it in front of the field, when he does it behind the plate, those lines are fantastic. But when he's actually roasting the kids on the field, that whole scene was unscripted, and actually the director, David Evans, was yelling out lines behind camera.
Shut up, idiot! Moron! Scab eater! Butt sniffer! Pus licker! Fart smeller!
I think my favorites are Squints and Ham, but it's very easy to pick any of the other kids. Every kid is fantastic. Ham was actually casted last minute. Patrick Renna, he was fantastic on the role. I think every kid is fantastic in their own role. But doing some research, it was funny to figure out that the kid who actually plays Yaya was actually cast to play Bertram. But the original kid that they casted to play Yaya fell ill, so Marty York took the role of Yaya and they recasted Bertram. What I did find surprising now, looking back, that this movie didn't really launch any of the kids into mega stardom, even with the success of the movie. Mike Vitar, who plays Benny, did go on to do Mighty Ducks 2. Tim Gurry, I don't know how you pronounce your name, sorry dude. The guy who plays Scotty Smalls, who still gets yelled at, "You're killing me, Smalls," to this day, up to 4 times a day. You've seen him in other stuff, but I think The Sandlot was each of these kids' height of heights, which you would think this would be a launching pad for them, something similar to what the Goonies did. If you really pay attention, the movie is actually told in 2 halves. So it's the story of Smalls coming in, being a new kid in town and trying to find friends. Once he eventually does find friends, to keep those friends, he pulls out his stepdad's ball and he plays with the ball. He, not knowing nothing about baseball, he knows it's signed by Babe Ruth, but he doesn't know who Babe Ruth he is. He actually thinks it's a lady. He actually hits the ball over the fence, and the other half of the movie is trying to retrieve that ball because it's worth more than his life, in different shenanigan ways to try to retrieve that ball. And to help us with the story, there's a narrator, which I think is brilliantly used. Again, similar to the music, you kind of forget that he's there. He never oversteps. It was a bit weird to find out that the narrator is actually not the same actor who plays Smalls as an adult. The narrator is actually the director of the film, David Mickey Evans. He actually wrote the film as well. And the story is based on his childhood, where his brother hopped over a fence to retrieve a baseball and actually got bit by a dog named Hercules. Also, the original title for the movie was Boys of Summer, but there's already a book about baseball with the same title, and the writer threatened to sue him. But honestly, the title of The Sandlot is way better. There's not a whole lot of cheese in the movie. I can only point out 2 parts of it. Yes, the dog puppet is a bit goofy by today's standards, but that actually took 2 people to operate. So yes, that dog does look a little cheesy. And the other part for me that has a little hint of 90s cheese is when the chefs are carrying the cake and the cake goes up in the air and splats all over them. That has a little 90s kids movie cheese. So to retrieve the ball, you got Benny, who's hopping over the fence with his PF Flyers and gets chased around town by Hercules. And at the end of the movie, Benny becomes Freddie Mercury, who plays for the Los Angeles Dodgers. No, but actually, the actor who's playing Benny is actually little Benny's older brother. I did try to watch some of the sequels, and they're complete ass. One is like a complete remake of it. The other one is like time travel and the guy goes back in time. It's what? No, leave my stuff alone. There was a series in the talks years ago, but I haven't seen any movement on that either. Leave it alone. Would you leave my stuff alone? Okay, it's perfect as it is. We don't need a series. We don't need nothing. It's perfect, right? It's a simple story of trying to retrieve a ball from a yard, right? And it's done beautifully, and it's crammed beautifully, and it's edited beautifully, and it's done beautifully. Leave my stuff alone. Well, those were my thoughts and some facts on this 1993 beautiful classic, one of the best movies of all time, Sandlot. Make sure you comment down below one of your favorite movies. We might do it for the list. We might shut you out, along with any other facts I might have missed talking about the Sandlot. Anything and all, let me know down in the comments down below. I'm going to leave another one of my favorite movies for you to watch over here, along with the whole list right here. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I love you guys. And always and forever, you do you.